Okay, continuing on, we're going to go over the board. Essentially, as you get close here and you look at the board, you basically have A through H and 1 through 8. On the very bottom here, you'll have a setting for this breadcrumb here is how you basically end the game. So you can choose who won, white won, black won, or it was a draw. Another option in here is your move list. So essentially when you press that, you'll be able to see all the moves that have been made for the game. We'll go back and show that in a little bit. Another option here is your check and your checkmate. So essentially if there's a check, you can press the check button and then checkmate if there's a checkmate on the board. Again, there's no logic to this application. It doesn't know when there's check or checkmate, so you have to manually put them in here. If you happen to make a mistake, you can use your arrow keys to go back and then adjust your move. Another option too is down here in the notation area, which is this gray area. You can scroll back and forth and then basically press on the move to move to that move if you have to. At the very top, we have a text option. If you press on that text option, it'll let you increase the display size. What it'll do is just increase the font down here for the moves. So if you have a hard time seeing that, you can increase it. So to get started with the chessboard, essentially it works just like a traditional chessboard. You choose the piece you're going to move, and then you basically move it. There's no logic in this system, so you can take that and capture the king, and then you can promote to a queen, and you just won the game. So there's no logic in here. Whatever move you make, the system will make for you. You could do the same thing and take the king and capture the king. It's not gonna tell you if it's illegal or not. It's just gonna let you make the move. So there is no logic at all in terms of the moves. The only thing is it knows where you're moving and it knows how to notate it properly. So we'll go ahead and start off with the move. Now, one thing to note here is if you choose a piece and you pressed on the wrong one, you need to press off on it and then choose the other piece that you're gonna move. If you keep it pressed and then move to a different piece, it's gonna capture. It's gonna always look at it as a capture move. So that's something to be aware of. So we'll go ahead and just start a normal chess game here, and I'll make a couple moves for white and black. One thing to note here is that the reason why we have the highlight after you make the move is so you know that it's black's turn to move. So we'll go ahead and, like I said, just make a couple moves here. Nothing crazy, just some basic stuff. So as you saw, I just did a castle here, king side for both kings, and the system has the logic so that when you castle, it automatically moves that rook over for you. So that is one thing that's built into the system, is it does know logic for castling king side, queen side. Also, if you happen to run into an en passant move, it automatically knows how to deal with that. It'll capture and remove it off the board. So those are some of the basic moves that know logic. Again, it'll also know when you promote a pawn and a pawn makes it to the 8th rank, it'll know example that you can choose rook, bishop, or knight or whatever. So we'll go back on that. So essentially at this point, here's a good time to show you the move list. So if you press on the move list, it's going to list all the moves. So you can, if your opponent made a mistake or needed to see something, he can do that, or she can do that. So again, one of the things I mentioned, you can scroll back, and if you need to, you could go back to the beginning of the game if you notice you made a major mistake or something like that. So unfortunately, with the way the system is designed currently, is that if you made a mistake, it'll override all your moves, so you're not able to just fix just that individual move. That's something we'll be adding in future releases, I believe. Right now, it's the big thing is just let's get certified. So moving forward with the game, at this point, we can just make a move for white, just so we erase that fake move of going to the queen. Here is a good time to show you the text option, so you can increase the text down below. So if the moves aren't big enough for you, you can increase that, or if they're too big, you can downsize those moves. So that's an option down there that you have. Again, if you make a mistake, you can backtrack the moves, or you can go forward. If there happen to be a check in here, you could go back to a move and add the check. It'll automatically insert it into the move. You could do the same thing with checkmate if there was a checkmate on the board. So that's essentially the moves and getting around the board and using the board. What we'll do is we'll fix that last move, since that's not a legitimate move, and we'll just go there. And maybe this is just a draw, so we'll choose that it's a draw. Here you can choose what happened, white one, black one, or it was a draw. In this case, we'll do a draw. And here at this point, it'll say what happened, draw, and then it'll let the user know who's playing white. Joe, please sign to approve. So at this point, you would just sign your name on the screen and approve it. And then you would hand the device to your opponent, and then it would let Jill know it was a draw, and it would just say, Jill, please sign to approve. So she could sign her name and then approve. So at this point, what it's doing is it's creating the signatures for the game and also creating the PGN, and that was it. So it created the game. So we'll go over pulling up that game on a laptop here in just a few minutes. So we'll continue on with the videos. Thank you.